Good morning, Vietnam, or World of Warships. This is Lord Holland, and today we have a ship that has given me a pain in the ass to get you footage for. Florida. This ship has given me a pain to get some good footage for you, because it is a very interesting warship. Florida falls into an odd count of ships. She falls in with the Slava, the Borodino, the Champagne, and then the Florida. These were designed to be sniping, long-range, accurate battleships. Now, again, for economic boost, she would get 5% to credits, 55 to XP, 65 to commander, and then without the boost, it'd be 100. Now, okay, average, but this is where you really get painful. This thing goes up to tier 9 matchmaking. But look at the armor. 25mm nose, armor belt, 285, then 26, and then 25 in the back. So, overmatchable by practically every battleship you face, except tier 6 and below. And then armor deck at 37, so not very HE susceptible. She's very HE susceptible still, because that's still pinnable. And then we go to her gun, her survivability, which is 52,000 roughly, and then a 26% torpedo reduction. It basically might as well be 13%. You're not gonna. It doesn't have a torpedo reduction basically. It takes torps and it hurts. Now this is where she gets very painful. The reload is 34 seconds. It says 33.5, but it's technically 34 when you go in game. And then if you don't have the grease the gears, it's a 30. It's basically the exact same amount of time to switch shells. With grease the gears, gun feeder. With gun feeder, it goes from 33.5 second switch time to 20 second. It's still a really long switch time. This would really benefit from having like John Doe. Now, so since a lot of people may not want to spend the doubloons or the coal, I actually ran a slightly mean build, emergency repair specialist, brisk, long-range secondary battery shells, and close quarters expert. I was trying to mimic Mr. Roll Katsuki's build on his North Carolina. It's funny, and it slightly works, but it's not the most optimal way. I would really recommend not doing a meme build. Do not do a meme build. If you take this thing in the randoms, do it like a normal battleship build, please. Otherwise, you'll have a painful time. Range is 18.6. For her modules, she can pop a spotter aircraft. And she's one of the few battleships that actually gets defensive AA and a heal. Now, I'm actually one of the few that now, this is how I run I actually kept the modules the right way. So I put Auxiliary Armaments 1, Defensive AA Fire Modification 1, Main Battery Modification 2 for turret traverse, and steering gears. Because without it, she would have a longer rudder shift of 12.3 seconds. Which is still pretty bad. Now, the reason I put defensive AA consumable is because this AA is another huge selling point for the ship. Like the California, she has more speed than the California, but probably less armor. But her AA, she gets 36 Orlycan single mounts, 3 times 2 double Bofors mounts, 8 times 4, 8 quad mount Bofors guns. And then she gets 4 5-inch guns with another 6 127mm guns. That doesn't sound like a lot, but this thing has amazing AA, and it shreds planes. I've taken this thing in the ranked battles with tier 6 Siranovs, And yeah, I still died, but it took the Surinov quite a while to kill me. It has amazing AA, and it's actually, competitive-wise, it's a very accurate warship. Now, the guns are where it gets a little more painful also. These are New Mexico guns, so 14-inch guns at tier 7. That'd go up to tier 9. And the sad thing is, you need, it's meant to be a sniping AP battleship, but the sad enough is that the HE has better velocity. Now, HE velocity is 631, 58 millimeter pin, 22% of fire in about 4,800 damage. But a 58 millimeter pin, that's pretty good. That'll pin most cruisers that you'll face. So you can HE spam mostly everything. AP velocity 823 with 9,500. Now let's say you get 3 Citadels or 2 Citadels. That's around 18,000 damage. So it adds up real quickly when you get the Citadels. So it's just about getting real lucky. She's a decent ship. Again, maneuverability 12.3 rudder shift, 760 turn circle, kind of a little long. With brisk, definitely recommend brisk. You'll be do about 30 knots. Speed flag above 30 knots. Now, without concealment, it's 13.4. With concealment, it's 12.1. Now, you definitely want concealment, for sure. Like I said, I did a meme build just for the hell of it. And it was painful getting some good footage. But I did get a good map and got some good footage. And I was very surprised at the end result myself. But let's get into the replay, and we'll show you what the American, well, Champagne and Borodino do. Alright, let's go into this and have some fun. Welcome back to Lord Holland on Cherry Blossom. Now, this is a ship that I have been trying to get some decent footage in. I've just been trying to get some decent footage in this ship. Florida. Florida is, I would compare this ship to a bag of trail mix. You never know what you're gonna get. This ship is a bag of trail mix. Now, I'm running a meme build on this one, so you'll see that activate. And it has Ashley Violet on it, that new or improved Twitch commander. But Florida was supposed to be the what's supposed to be like in the trio, or I guess the quadlet of sniper battleships. Like how the Borodino, the Slava, the Champagne have that long-range accuracy. Florida was supposed to be the American equivalent of it. New Mexico guns, but 12 of them at tier 7. Now, New Mexico guns at tier 9. That's like shoving the California at tier 9. Doesn't become a great battleship. But this thing is actually really good. It has, despite its well, gun characteristics, it has actually remarkable AA. It is actually a very surprisingly great tier 7 ranked ship. It would do very good in brawls right now. It would be a very good brawl ship. Because you could stick it with maybe a Nelson gets up front, and Florida sits in the back just waiting to get those perfect shots. Now, the reload, 37 seconds. That's the painful part of the ship. Now, you'll see I can't see anything. I can see the cruisers, but they are just out of my range. And this thing excels at hitting broadsides, but you gotta see the broadside, and everything's shooting it now. So it's like, and they don't even do a good job of hitting the Miyoko. So by the time my shells are there, it's starting to move. But you can kind of look at the dispersion. It's kind of all over the place. Yeah, it is like that. The dispersion jumps all over the place. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's not. But the real kick to this ship is its AA. That's the one very positive characteristic of this ship. Absolutely, it's AA. It can repel tier 6 carriers with relative ease. The question is for me how long though. Now you see right there, that's kind of how it's supposed to work. That's how the ship should be working. And you see my close quarters is going off, so everything's in my sec. So I get a little bit, so I get normal battleship reload now. But she also doesn't have that much armor, which is in flaw with that secondary battleship, or that sniper battleship. She's coated in 25mm armor. I think it's even less than that, actually. Another good Citadel. So that's about 27,000 on that one Miyoko. But she does burn. You see 2 fires. I'm letting those burn so my reload goes down. Because it's worth the wait. Or the risk. She can bounce AP shells like this, though. So you don't have to worry about it at AP shells at close range. She can bounce these kind of shells. But just don't expect to be tanking a battleship shell in it. Like 10 shells all over pins. Yeah. And the Colorado gets that kill, which just doesn't make no sense, but okay. But yeah, I don't have Adrenaline Rush, which was kind of the sad thing, you know. I didn't have Adrenaline Rush, which was my bad. And honestly, very stupid of me. Don't ask me why I didn't have it. I don't know. I think I was doing such a meme build, I wasn't really caring. But the 37-second reload, you know, like linen reload, that is a pain. That is a very huge pain at tier 7. Even more so when you go to tier 9 and you got tier 9 battleships that can outrange you and out DPM you, which is kind of sad. The whole purpose of the sniping battleship is like, well, it's old. It is old, but this ship definitely hasn't aged well. This ship is what, like, this ship came out when the American heavy battleships came out, so around, what, 2020? It hasn't aged well, honestly, in my opinion. You don't see many of them. It's like the Champagne. I mean, even though the ship is still available for sale, I'd rather have the Champagne over this thing. And I don't know why this ship was made still available for sale. It makes no sense. Now, Mr. can't get a damn hit. Pensacola. That's unfortunate. I honestly can understand him. I honestly can. And I pity him because that has been my. That was pretty much most of my day. So yeah, if you're gonna run this, don't run a meme build on it. I would still recommend taking Close Quarters Expert though. The 3-second reload does help a little bit. Plus Adrenaline Rush, you'd probably be down to under a normal battleship reload by now, so it's not bad. Just keep that in mind.
This is not where you want to be.
And I want him to get back because I know we're gonna need him later. I was gonna go heal up, but then I decided to go forward and help protect this battleship. Because I do worry about him. still got one heal left, so I'm not worried. But I would honestly rate that this Wargaming can give this ship a buff. I don't know, like a 2.0 Stigma or something. I think it might have a 2.0 Stigma, but I can't remember. Stigmas have never been my forte, honestly. I could honestly judge a ship's accuracy by just playing it enough. I know they said that the Massachusetts has worse accuracy than the Alabama, but the sad thing is I think the Massachusetts actually has better accuracy than the Alabama. Which doesn't make sense. Because it was supposed to have, like, terrible dispersion. It wasn't supposed to hit, like, long-range shells or anything. And here's the AA finally going into work. I'm pushing in because I just want some more damage. Gutsy, yes, but worth it. And you see, I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to get those final... And I pop it now, and you'll just see it just slowly climb. I do still take torps though, but those planes ain't getting away. The torp belt's not that bad. It'll repel these kind. It'll take these kind of torps, but don't expect to be taking ship torps. There. That's how it should be working. That's I wish how every salvo was getting citadel, citadels. But that's how it's supposed to be. That's when you get an actual good day and the ship.
Back to ship, Tiger. Now go back to normal.
Yeah, but everyone always overestimates the plane kills on this map. The plane kills can give you a lot of little XP. If you're having a bad match, get in there, get some of those plane kills. That'll really make your day. Again, dispersion wasn't my friend, unfortunately, on that. Like, it doesn't make sense on this ship. Sometimes the dispersion really favors you, and then RNG. Just doesn't make sense because I know I was hitting right in that citadel range, unless I'm missing something. And the dispersion coming out is actually decent. You can look at those shells; they're actually falling pretty in a very tight grouping. I just missed the aim. And you see the plane goes, they're just going up, and up. We're up to 41 plane kills. Not bad. She does repel airstrikes really easily. If you know you're going into a meta, like with tier 6 ships, and it's going to be one of those days, I would take the Florida over any ship in the game. She still has decent speed. So she can reposition. She's still a decent ship. And that really ticked me off. It really ticked me off. Because my battleships are not letting me get anything this match. Again, that's the difficulty of having 14-inch gun, you can hear the bounces, and it's frustrating. Because it's like the slightest angle and these shells just bounce. Like, you need absolutely perfect broadsides. I mean, stationary, like, target not paying attention to you, bam, he's gone. Like, you need to... That's why it really helps. I would say she's a pretty good PvP ship, though. In a PvP setting where players aren't really paying attention, she can punish. I was playing her at Tier 7 ranked once, and I was punishing people really good. She was a good ship. Now I get around 11,000 there. But again, the amount of overpins I've had is just... Like, I've had 42 overpins. And only 11 penetrations. The ricochets, I guess they aren't that bad, but... Again, the amount of over penetrations. That's like 42,000 of my damage. That's like half my damage is just an overpin.
Tarp soup directly ahead.
And it's like really... I really wish the team had been more aggressive. I'm going down at this point, but it's whatever.
Things are a little too warm here. Tarp soup behind us. Tarp soup directly behind.
The gun traverse speed is also, you know, lacking, which is unfortunate. So you want to, if you're going to get it, definitely get the turret rotation module, because you're going to need it. Because you can't turn your turret literally back and forth. You can't. And Holland bites the dust, which is sad, because you never see Holland ever bite the dust. But the good news is, at least it's a win. It wasn't as nerve-wracking as our Owen's battle was. That was nerve-wracking. It just shows you, when you have battleships, how easy Cherry Blossom is. When you got no battleships on Cherry Blossom, it is a pain. Still possible, but a pain. I was actually very surprised by the end result screen. I thought I would be at the bottom. But I ended up being fairly close to the top. I was actually impressed. And surprised. I still can't believe this actually happened. "41 plane kills. That's actually not bad, considering that I was at least 100 to almost 200 base XP in front of the major enemy. If I'd actually hit my shots, I could have been higher up in the Colorado. 4,000. That was just a kill steal on that one. Let's see. Almost one for the Colorado. I think that was the second one. So about two, I guess it was about 2 kills for the Colorado that he kind of took.